Well, today we are going to start showing the glossy texture on our hairdryer. And the first thing to do, of course, is to outline the contour of area we are going to work on. So in this case, here we have the reflection from the cast shadow. And towards the edge, I lighten it a bit. I can just fill in this back part. A little bit darker here, lightening it to the edge. Here will be reflected light. And over there it will curve a little. Next we have a pretty wide area of shadow, so this is where the color will go, and the highlight will start from here. If you are a little afraid to draw immediately with a marker, so you can very neatly trace with a pencil. Here I would make this highlight a little narrower. And fill it all the way in. Now we have a shadow here, right at this place. Now I have a division into perfectly even stripes. I don't like it much, so I'm going to darken it a little bit more. And then I'm going to lighten it up. So we can move on to the handle. Make it a bit smaller, as it's very expressive. Okay, we can also add here, since it's still a shadow. Outline the contour. Now we need to repeat the shape, fill in the gaps. At this place the volume expands a bit, so I would darken here, to show that the volume comes out here to the handle. And then the reflection of the cast shadow. Still, if it's too dark, don't worry, we have a white pencil to help us out. I'll leave that area alone for now. Maybe level it here a bit. Okay, let's move on. Cover here. Coming to the handle. We make it a little bit bolder in the place where the shapes change, here where one shape meets to the other. I'll fill it all in here. Great. And here, remember, we discussed that we would have a highlight somewhere in this place. Let's fill it to the end. The highlight will come from here, so it doesn't quite start at the button. Let's get round the buttons. Try not to do the same dense filling, still make some gradation from dark to light. This will make your picture will be more expressive and be much more interesting to look at. Here we also have gray, so we can extend that highlight like this. And then take it to the end. We can leave the reflected light here too, and also take it down to the end, and leave it very thin. And make this part smoother. Okay. Now let's take these parts and leave the rest for now. Here is the same glossy material as here, just a different color. Accordingly, here we also keep our highlighted stripes. At this side, we will have completely gray edge, but with a certain thickness, not just a single stripes. Now cover the remaining edge. And the same story here. While this part is dry, you can make it a little bit darker here. The same here. Such painstaking, delicate work, but so worth it. While everything is drying, let's go over here, doing pretty similar work. Here I would make the highlight a little smaller. Here it fades away. I'm going to refine the edges where I don't like it much. Somewhere here I can make it bolder. And we can darken it here, just a little. Then the inner part. First, we are going to feel what's between these stripes. We leave them light. We can outline it. And then we darken the inside of stripes. That gives a sense of depth. Now we'll use the ruler to make it more neat and even. Darken it again, as it's probably the darkest part of our hairdryer. There is not enough gradation, so I would add a little. Back to the orange. We need to finish the buttons. The more white space I leave, the better. So I leave a lot of light here. Outline the contour. And I'm going to leave a highlight here too. I don't want to fully fill the buttons, so I don't weigh them down. Then a few highlights. Now we show a cast shadow. For it, I'll use a lighter gray marker than this gray, because if I take a darker one, it will be really dark, so it's better to make it lighter. And with this contrast, the hairdryer will look more expressive. And of course, we outline where the cast shadow will fall. At the junction of the hairdryer and the plane will be the darkest part in the cast shadow. Always try to add gradation everywhere, even with just one marker. And all your fillings will look more interesting and will catch the eye. Generally, we can already outline it all and add a white pencil here and there. Personally, I like drawings with more contrast. So I'll take my light gray, this one, a Copic N3 marker, and add it right on top of the orange, here in the dark places where I want to. I can go right on top of the gray. It comes out here. And it goes in here. This contrast appears immediately. Right there, of course. The main thing is to get a very light gray. If it's too dark, it'll just cover the orange. And I'll go a little bit further. Let's see what we've got. We'll have to add a little bit more here. I like that it can also cover the existing gray areas, making the whole image blend together. Let's cover the far section. Outlining the contour, and the hairdryer will get more finished look. And here darken too. Now I can add white pencil to this area. That will give us this very soft effect. Without reaching the end. Add it to the edge. It looks like an extra highlight. Then we can add at the edge of our hairdryer here, so it looks detached from the cast shadow. And we can darken the cast shadow a little bit more. So, when you want to detach one object from the other, or from the plane on which it stands, it has to be a combination of dark and light. So, it's light here, and then it has to be dark. There is also a bit light lacking. Let's add clear stripes without hatching. These are smoother highlights. Here I would also add stripes. And here there is a little bit missing too. I like to add white pencil, as it gives such a soft glow. The main thing is not to overdo it, but it's enough to use an eraser. It's just like a normal pencil. And that's it. So it doesn't feel like a flower. What else can we use? A white pen, of course. We have light from above, so I make this part brighter. Great. Here I would highlight it at the orange edge. Try to take the white pen off, so that it sort of fades away. It goes here. We mark the connection of different areas. It's important not to go exactly along the line of the joint. Choose either to go to the left or to the right plane. As on the original, it's clearly visible that the highlight is on the orange part, not on the gray. That's where we put it. And use your finger to smudge the edge. Here we add highlights with a pen. Let's make another one, but it doesn't go well on dry pencil, as white pen is a very difficult material to use at times. So I'll add it just at the beginning. Let's clean up here, make the stripes a little smoother. Let them stay white. Let's add a little white pencil here, so that we can light up the bottom part. It seems like such a small details, but they give our drawing a finishing touch. And here we add the pen. Where else can I use it? I can put it here. We can of course add it on the buttons themselves, if we overfill them. And also on the joints of the buttons, in the gray parts of the handle. There is more here. I would definitely add it here. And now we outline it with calligraphy liner. There is a tip like this, and another side like this. With the thin side, I outline all the details. It's very important not to erase the white pencil while outlining. But if you do, then you can go over it again. On the edge here, I'd use a thicker tip. You can see in some places the line varies and I leave gaps, which adds extra life to our drawing. I make the contour a little bit bolder. There are still some details to work out, to highlight certain areas, where, for example, the white pencil rubbed off. And that's it! We have finished our glossy hair dryer.